Welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Marin, and this is actually our last show of the year. How are you feeling about it?
I'm really sad. I feel like this has been a really good, season or set of the show.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of friends, and I'm kind of really sad to break for summer.
It really has been a fun show. How did you get into Good Evening KU?
So actually, Cal Butcher has a class, and it's JMC 210, and he forces us. No, I'm joking. It's a part of the class that you have to be kind of a part of a show or doing something production-wise, and so I thought about joining Good Evening KU, and I'm so glad I did. And I think if I'm right, you're in that class too.
Yeah, I actually have the exact same process of how I got into this show, but I'm very glad I did. I don't think I would have joined it if it wasn't for the class, so I'm very glad that kind of brought that opportunity on me.
I agree. I was always walking around like Stouffer as a freshman and being like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I want to get into the studio, but I was always so nervous. And so it was kind of a good push to kind of bring me into the world a little bit more.
It was, and these studios are so cool. I always wondered what was going on in here. So
I know.
It's really cool to get to figure that out.
Yeah, it's fun to be a part of it all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Speaking of our classes, how are your finals? Like, what are they looking like? Are they more project-based, more test-based?
They're definitely more project-based, and I should have probably started on them like a month ago. But it means like next week is definitely more free for me, but it means that I need to start getting on it because the procrastination is real.
That definitely seems like it's the case for most people. I feel like a lot of people have more projects than actual tests. Yeah. But speaking of Cal's class, we actually have a final tomorrow.
We do.
So we better get to studying for that.
I know. I think I'm going to hit the libraries after this for sure.
Yeah, me too. Definitely going to need to study.
Yeah. But speaking of finals and everything coming to an end for the school year, what's your move-out process look like?
Well, I'm actually moving out like this Friday or Saturday because I have no finals next week.
That's so nice.
It's kind of weird though because I feel like I just got here.
I know.
I'm a freshman and I feel like this whole year just started. So it's very weird that it's already over.
Freshman year is kind of a fever dream, honestly.
It really is.
It's insane because it just goes by super quickly, and some days you feel like it's dragging, and then like the next year moving out, and it's just so
For sure. That's
so
exactly
strange.
how it went.
Yeah.
What about you? What are your move-out plans?
I don't get to leave until next Friday, but I'm kind of sad to leave. I don't really want to. I hate the move-out process. It's
really
stressing
fun
me
here,
out. Yeah, it's just everything stops and everybody goes home and it's horrible. But also just the move-out process itself is horrible. I'm really stressing about that more than my finals.
Very stressful because my stuff, I just feel like it's doubled. I have so much more stuff than when I moved in.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a challenge.
That's always the case, sadly.
Speaking of the school year ending, are you taking any summer classes this year?
I am. I'm taking 309 and it's kind of like an internship class, so I get credit for the internship that I have.
Yes.
But I've heard that 309 is hopefully easier over the summer, but I'm not positive that's the case. So
You'll have to let us know. You'll have to let us know.
Are you taking some?
I am taking summer classes. I'm taking JMC 302 and 304. So we'll see how that goes, both online. So
those are fun classes.
That'll be good. I'm glad to get that out of the way before next year so I can keep moving forward. But
Yes, it's nice.
Did you watch the Met Gala?
Okay, I didn't watch it, but I've seen it all over social media, and it was like tailoring.
Yeah, I think it was tailoring black style.
Okay, yes.
I'm pretty sure.
I saw a lot of
suits. Cool looks.
Yeah. Some of them were interesting, but I mean, it's a Met Gala, so they're always interesting.
You never know what you're gonna see.
No.
You never do.
But I saw this video actually, and it was really funny. It was like normal, like celebrities walking out of their hotels to get there, and they were all just wearing like, big coats to like cover. And then it was like Doechii came out, and she has like this whole tent set up. There's like umbrellas.
Oh my gosh.
It was insane.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, at least for her. But yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is actually coming up. Do you have any plans for that?
I don't. My mom lives in Oklahoma, and so being here, I can't really see her, but maybe I'll send her some flowers or something.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
She actually is probably watching this show, so I shouldn't have said that, but
I was thinking the same thing. I was going to talk about what I was going to get her, but maybe I won't because she may be watching.
Yeah. Well, we'll skip that topic then so we don't spill too much news for our mom.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have. So we're going to jump it on over to an interview. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, guys. Hi, my name is Alex, and I'm here with a J School senior, Carson. We're just going to talk a little bit about his time here. I'm so excited to learn all about it. So what do you think your favorite memory of being a J School student so far?
There's a lot. Honestly, it's kind of hard to just pick one. Playmakers is probably the one that comes to mind the most, though. Just Friday lunches after the shows, I'm going to miss that most. I'd say that's my favorite memory is just being with all my Playmakers friends on Fridays. It's such a good way to end the week, and we all go to lunch after, so that's my favorite memory.
Was Playmakers the only show you were a part of during your time here?
No, so I started on Good Morning KU,
Okay.
and then I was on Take a Side, which doesn't exist anymore, but that was a good one. Okay, there's a photo right there. That's what I looked like back then, all those years ago. Let's see. Then I was also on KUJH News, and then I was on Playmakers.
Wow, that's all awesome. Other than like TV shows, what else did you get involved in during your time here, or was that like kind of it? Because, yeah.
Yeah, I joined the Student Ambassador Program as a junior.
Okay.
With you. You're
Yeah,
in it now.
I am.
So I became a Student Ambassador, and I'd say that was like the biggest thing that I did outside of the journalism school. Just everything in the studio and then Student Ambassador. Those were my main two things.
Yeah, for sure. And I bet everybody's wanting to know what you're up to after graduation in a week. So
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I've been asked that so many times over the past few months, and I can finally have an answer, which is really nice. I'm going to be working full-time at WIBW, which is the news
That's
station
amazing.
in Topeka. So I've been doing an internship there and worked part-time for the last 11 months.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be a full-time reporter, which is exciting.
So
you
you're
can
going to
see
be
me.
on camera.
Yeah, you'll see me
Basically
on
be doing
TV
this.
like 5 days a week. It was so stressful. Everyone was asking me what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried to just be calm when I didn't have an answer. But I
Yeah.
do now, so I'm going
Yeah.
to stay in Kansas.
There you go. What are you most excited to report on? Like
Oh.
news, sports?
I kind of am going to do both. So
Okay.
I'm technically going to be news, but I
Yeah.
want to work some sports in.
Yeah.
So in the past, I've done the Friday night, like football and basketball high school games.
Uh-huh.
So probably that, just trying to get into sports as much as I can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have a favorite sport that you like to report on?
Basketball.
Okay.
Here in the J
Yeah.
school is always NBA.
Yeah.
Huge Nuggets fan. Huge game tonight. Go watch. Just basketball probably.
Yeah, for sure. Did you ever report on a KU basketball game here?
I actually did not.
Okay.
You know how hard it is to get
Oh, yeah.
coverage for
To
those.
get- oh,
but
yeah, it's
football,
crazy.
I got to go to Phoenix for the Guaranteed Rate Bowl.
Oh, wow.
That was like, I should have said that for my favorite memory. That's up
Yeah,
there too.
for
I
sure.
got to be on the field at Arrowhead for a game against Houston. That was cool. So football, I got to do some cool stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I bet that definitely got you a lot of experience, kind of putting yourself into that job. Well, we're all really excited for you here, and it's been so great working with you the last few months, and we're going to go to a break.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back to Good Evening KU News. I'm Emerson.
And I'm Alex. 133 Cardinals from around the world have joined in the Sistine Chapel today to elect the new leader following Pope Francis's death. The Cardinal electors will vote to select the next leader of the world's nearly 1.4 billion Catholics, which will be announced when the white smoke comes from the Apostolic Palace as the new Pope will emerge onto the balcony in Vatican City.
The Walt Disney Company announced earlier today that it was in the works to bring a Disney park and resort to Yas Island in the United Arab Emirates. This will be Disney's 7th theme park, but the development of it is not included in the $60 billion Disney plans to spend renovating its other parks. CEO Bob Iger said Imagineers have already begun design plans for the park, but he did not specify when the park is expected to open.
The Real ID requirement began earlier today, which means travelers flying in the United States will be required to have a compliant driver's license or an approved Transportation Security Administration approved alternative, similar to a passport, to fly. Passports or passengers flying to Indianapolis Airport claim lines were not very long, but the process was going smoothly. But getting a same-day Real ID is not guaranteed.
Cleveland Clinic researchers found a new medication has been shown to lower cholesterol levels. The combination of a new drug, abiraterone, and ezetimibe has reduced low-density lipoprotein by nearly 50% after 3 months, which produced greater results than any drug alone. The research was presented today during a science session in Glasgow, Scotland at the annual meeting of the European Atherosclerosis Society.
That's all we have for news today, and we will send it over to Fetty with sports.
Thanks, Emerson and Alex. The school year might be coming to a finish, but Jayhawk sports couldn't be much more alive here in Lawrence. For For the first time since 2021, Kansas baseball swept Missouri in a season series with a 6-5 win Tuesday night in Columbia. After a 3-run first inning, Missouri scored 5 straight runs to go up 5-3. Michael Brooks cut the lead to 1 in the 6th, hitting the team's 90th home run of the season, setting a program record. Now it's the top of the 8th. Bottoms loaded. Bases loaded. Senior Tommy Bart's fly ball gets a runner in. It's a tie game now. With 2 outs in the inning, Sawyer Smith blasts a ground ball down the middle for a pinch runner TJ Williams to round the diamond and give Kansas a 6-5 lead. The Jayhawks held the Tigers scoreless in the final 2 innings to take on the Border Showdown. This marks Kansas' 17th road win of the year, shattering a program record set in 2003 of 16 victories. Let's swing over and take a look at Kansas women's golf, who competed in the NCAA regional title at the Ohio State Golf Club in Columbus. In a case where chilly rain conditions might affect some, that was not the case for the Jayhawks. Led by Kansas sophomore Lila Lauterbach, fired a tournament low round of 276. She shot 12 under par to jump 2 spots and win the event by 3 strokes on Wednesday. I'm now joined alongside Josh Crago, who is one of our Kansas baseball managers. Josh, thank you so much for coming in today.
It's great to be here. I'm a sophomore here at Kansas, and I study aerospace engineering. And of course, I work for Kansas baseball as a student manager and bullpen catcher.
So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, it's one of the best years that the Kansas baseball team has had. What has it been like being around that program so far?
It's been a great opportunity. I've gotten to travel all over the country just to see one of the most explosive offenses in the country, and really get to meet a lot of special people and a lot of talent I get to work with.
And you mentioned you're an aerospace engineering major. What made you be interested in being a Kansas baseball manager?
Well, I've always been a baseball player through high school, my younger years, and I really didn't get the opportunity to take my talents to the next level, but my academics I was able to bring to a great school like Kansas, and the coaches thought I was good enough to bring something to the team, and I got the chance to be a bullpen catcher for the University of Kansas.
Now you tell me that you've played all throughout your life. You played catcher, in fact. So what attracted you about baseball, and do you have a first memory of baseball that comes to mind?
Well, I've always enjoyed playing catch with my dad, but I know when I was little, I really liked to just be a part of the game at all times, and there's no position like catcher that just gives you the opportunity to be a part of every chance you can. So
absolutely. And tell us a little bit about, I know aerospace engineering is one of those hard majors. How's your final week of classes coming in, and how's everything coming along?
It's definitely been great to see it coming to an end, but a lot of tough classes, but gonna pull through, just really work those last week, get through finals, and coast through summer.
Well, that's all the time that we have here. Josh, do you have anything else to add before we send it off?
I don't think so. Just rock chalk and go baseball.
Thank you so much, Josh, for your time and joining us. And we're going to take it off to a little commercial break before returning here on Good Evening KU.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. I am here with senior Emma Saville.
Hi.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so obviously I'm a senior. I studied multimedia journalism and digital marketing communication, so kind of a double whammy there. Here at the J School, I've been a part of the shows pretty much every single semester you could think of. I've done Good Evening KU, so this very show, this is where I started. And then I've also done KUJH News and Good Morning Indian Country, so kind of a big
wide
So you've
range.
been everywhere. You've
oh
done
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then outside of the journalism school, I've been a part of Student Union Activities, which is the big events planning board on campus. I was their executive director for about a year, so I got to run the whole org, which was super fun. And then I'm also a student ambassador, like Carson mentioned earlier, through the Office of Admissions, so giving tours to all of those prospective students who come through KU, which is super fun.
That's amazing. Okay, so how did you get involved with journalism? It's kind of like there's always a story that goes behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I came from a very, very small town in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, and we just so happened had to have just enough money to have a broadcast program. It was us against the world with a tiny little handheld camera and like a 20-year-old MacBook. And we would do a broadcast every single Friday on YouTube. And so that's kind of how I got like my start and like the love of journalism, I guess that makes sense, because we would do like local stories of like different things around the high school and the community, you name it. And I kind of found I like the people stories, like the human side of things. And so when I came to KU, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a reporter, tell the stories, you name it. But actually by being a part of the shows, I kind of learned that maybe that's not the trajectory I want to go towards. And so I started doing social media like production for KUJH News and Good Morning Indian Country, and that's what kind of led me to add that digital marketing side, so I get the best of both worlds with the storytelling, but then also kind of just a different avenue to take that.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of amazing, I heard that you're pretty awesome and you got an award not too long ago.
Might have.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So in the fall, the KU Alumni Association does homecoming awards, and I recently won the Excel Award, which is for excellence in community leadership, something along those lines.
Okay.
But basically, it's, I guess the way they put it is to celebrate like the leadership I've done on campus. Because like I said, I was an exec for Student Union Activities, done a lot of stuff for the school, and so I was able to get that award for that, which was super cool. It was at Arrowhead Stadium, so that was really cool to be on the field for that game against Houston. So
That's
that was really
amazing.
cool.
I'm pretty sure we actually have a clip of you on the field getting that.
Emma Saville. Congratulations, winners. You truly represent our finest student leaders here at the University of Kansas. Thank you to all who helped celebrate KU's.
That is amazing. That's honestly, that's huge like honor. And there too, that's like,
I know.
Were there a lot of people there? Or was it, what was it exactly like that night for?
Oh yeah, so that was one of our home football games, or home, I guess, in Kansas City at Arrowhead. So that was our homecoming game.
Okay, yes.
And so we all get to go out for it. I didn't realize we were going to be on the field for it. It was kind of fun though, because we had to go behind like the behind the scenes tunnels where like the players are. Like one of the security guards was like, hey, this number 13 on the door, it's literally for Taylor Swift. And I'm like, oh, so Taylor Swift has a secret door. So that was really cool to like kind of see and go through the tunnels. And then lo and behold, our awesome studio producer Cal Butcher was on the field, knew I was winning beforehand, and that's how we got that video. So it was kind of cool to have like, I don't know, just kind of a fun little full circle moment, and getting to be involved with that too.
That is so amazing, truly. I'm like in shock for you. So now the hardest question of all is, what are you planning on doing after graduation?
That's such a great question. I'm not totally certain, but it's kind of by choice, if that makes sense. I've decided that since I don't know what I want to do just yet, I want to take the summer, kind of work in Lawrence for a little bit and kind of figure out specifically kind of what I want to do, and start just applying for any and everything in that area. I'm hoping to do social media, public relations, maybe even jump back into reporting, who knows, but I'm just excited for where the journey is going to take me, and I'm ready for this next chapter.
No, that is so cool, honestly. I think that is more realistic than most people think.
Yes.
Genuinely, like after graduation, you think you have to like jump into something new, but truly it's, you can take your time. You can really test the waters.
I'm excited to take this last few months just to like breathe, reset, and go.
Yes, I bet after everything that's been going on recently, you're ready for a break. But so have done everything and obviously gotten so many awards. Do you have any last piece of advice to give to any underclassmen?
Keep it short and sweet. Get involved as soon as you can, because you never know where it's going to take you, because I didn't know I would be here doing exactly what I'm doing now 4 years ago.
Awesome. It was so great having you here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's hard to imagine leaving KU and beautiful Lawrence behind, but for our seniors, their time has come to say goodbye. Today, we focus on KUJH's seniors' stories, takeaways, and pieces of advice from their time at KU.
Once established on campus, these students began to plant their roots in the journalism school. For their last semester, they all came together to make KUJH better and better, week after week. After 4 years, these seniors are branching out, but wanting to share one last piece of advice. While their futures are bright ahead, the shadow of their past will always be with them. Once a Jayhawk, always a Jayhawk.
Welcome back, Jayhawks. My name's Aiden, bringing you your final weekly Wednesday weather for this entire semester. Guys, it's been a pretty dreary day in Lawrence. Clouds have been out and about all day. It's been showering for the last few hours or so, and it's going to stay that way for the foreseeable future to this evening, into tonight, into tomorrow morning. We are looking at an isolated chance of a shower or thunderstorm later tomorrow afternoon as well. But I have great news ahead for you guys. Stop day is looking to be beautiful. Taking a look at our temperatures around our area, 64 in Topeka, 68 over in Kansas City, even warmer in Leavenworth at 69 degrees. It's looking pretty dreary out there. Those low-hanging stratus clouds, my mistake, have dropped as much as a few hundredths of an inch over the last few hours and are expected to continue into tonight, into tomorrow morning. Our humidity at 88%, those winds are maintaining pretty steadily out of our east at 6 miles an hour. Taking a look at all of the weather we've been experiencing today. Guys, if you're in any of these little spots around that are in a break from the showers, don't worry. Within half an hour, you'll get even more rain headed your way. That is going to impact your plans for this evening. If you have any plans, such as going out as you don't have any more classes, I'm jealous, first off. But it is going to be a bit rainy. You may hear a few rumbles of thunder this evening. Nothing too severe in the forecast, but just something to keep your mind on. Same can be said for tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. That is when our best chances of showers and a stray thunderstorm or two are likely to roll through our area. Nothing severe is expected, just a few weak rumbles of thunder. You may catch a flash of lightning or something, but nothing too severe in the forecast ahead for you guys. For your weekly forecast, take a look at this. 73 and sunny on stop day. Ooh, my. Guys, get out there and enjoy this because it is here to stay for the next 5 days, early next week as well. Look at that, 78 on Monday, 83 on Tuesday. Man, it's going to be really hot moving into finals week. Speaking of finals week, guys, hot and sunny Monday and Tuesday like we saw, but I do have good news later in the week. As we close out the semester, we are looking at a good chance of showers and thunderstorms. Nothing too severe nothing too severe, similar to what we'll experience tomorrow. Should be a great end of your semester. Guys, that's all the time I've got for you. Thank you for being with me this semester. My name's Aiden. We'll see you here tomorrow for your last edition of Good Evening KU. I'll see you next year.